Hello and welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests and our lovely patrons to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by my good friends and GVG co-founders Ash Paulson and Steve Bowling, as well as our very special guest today, Creepy Elliot. You might know him. How's it going, Elliot?
It's good. I'm really glad to be here. Like, you brought Sabrina in, like, what was it, like 2 months ago? Was it?
Something like that. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
But like, in back pockets, like, all right, when do we bring out Elliot? It's almost ready, and now.
You got the dartboard. Who can we get? Oh, him. Perfect. Grab him. Take him. Make him a shirt. Actually, speaking of shirts, real quick, just to begin, I got my version of the Good Vibes Gaming shirt with the logo moved up from Steve's.
Handsome fucking shirt.
It looks really good.
I will be finally ordering mine tonight. I finally have a corporate debit card that works. It's been a thing. It's been a nightmare trying to get one that actually works, but I have one now. So I'm going to be ordering mine. I'm going to check it out, and then we can move forward on the merch front. So we're getting closer, everybody. And,
the cloth material feels pretty good, I gotta say. We'll see how it feels all night. The only thing I've noticed is that it's a bit tight for... I went large since I've lost some weight. And that's been my size typically for new shirts. It's a bit tight around the chest a bit here, but maybe it'll loosen up as I wear it throughout the show. Who knows? But... there we go.
Yeah, they're kind of like, if you're familiar with the athletic fit kind of shirts, they do run a little bit tighter. So when we make these available, probably take whatever, if you like a baggier shirt, size yourself one up is what I'd say.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Makes sense.
I like this, Jake Pelka. Free stimmy money.
Yes, been waiting
spend all your stimulus on us.
Okay. And Eduardo Tena says, I need a Shake That Ass shirt. You know what? That can still happen. That can be on the docket.
I've got a few designs in mind. I just haven't had time to work on them. I want the chicken review shirt. One of our patrons that I need to talk to made a wonderful nightmare-inducing Photoshop of my face over Colonel Sanders that I would love to use on a shirt.
Nice.
Shake That Ash. Rock Paulson would be a great shirt.
That sounds cool.
The cardboard car, which I'm pretty sure we could get away with, has to be a shirt.
I think we
I wonder if we could get away with Rock Paulson.
I think what could be a good shirt is a Photoshop of Steve, just like in front of his computer, but his name is Steve, so he's a Minecraft character.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
There you go. Get that Minecraft money. That's the idea.
Can we even get away with Rock Paulson? Because it's literally just Mega Man Smash Ultimate render with my face horrifyingly slapped on top of it.
The usual thing you do is just adapt it enough so it's not exactly that. It's
we would have
a bit more stylized.
We would have to commission an artist to actually make a Rock Paulson image, and then we'd put that on a shirt. But we could get away with it as long as it's not like an actual Capcom art piece with your face on it.
Yeah,
right.
But that would be tempting.
It would be. I mean, I love the way it exists in our Discord server now. It's certainly interesting. My wife, when she saw it, was like, "That's interesting," and I'm like, I think that's a good thing. Interesting. I can't. Is it good interesting or bad interesting?
There's a lot of ways that can go.
She's like, no, it's bad.
It's bad. I wouldn't mind once I get. It's been a process, but once I get my show going, I honestly think the logo for that is pretty clean, and that might make you want a classier shirt. That might not be a bad idea.
Get it on
those patrons have actually seen it, so
a blazer, the RP Gems tuxedo,
looking good. Anyway, speaking of merch and sales and all that, I guess we are, of course, sponsored tonight by The Game Orb. And as always, Game Orb is a fledgling channel focused mostly on Nintendo content. It's currently running Let's Plays of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Splatoon 2, Smash Ultimate, Super Mario 35, and more. So be sure to subscribe to The Game Orb and at the link in the description. And we're inching ever closer to that 200 subscribers goal that we have, I personally have. which is only about 24 away the last I looked. So we're getting there. We're making good progress, and just continue to show them the GV Gang support. They also want to promote their friend's YouTube channel, again, Galactic Reaper, and we'll have a link to their YouTube channel as well in the description. So check them both out. And again, thank you both so much for the sponsorship and for supporting us over at Good Vibes Gaming. So with that said, what do you guys say we jump into the news, see what happened over the weekend?
Before we do, really quick, I just want to extend a warm welcome to Mikey J, who says, first time tuning into TNT Live.
Oh, nice.
So stoked to see your channel growing. Been a big fan since the GX days. Thank you so much for your support, Mikey J, and we hope to see you in our live audience for many episodes to come.
I think we have one other newcomer that's in here as well. They were talking earlier before the show began, but I can't find their name now.
Kotar Peck, maybe?
No, I think I've seen that before.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Kotar.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was our new EP, honestly.
Oh.
There is a new member of the EP squad.
If so, that would be Wheezy Penguin, if Wheezy Penguin
Yes, I believe that's it. I believe it's Wheezy Penguin. Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you for that. But let's go ahead and dive into the news. And, First up, let's bring that up. It looks like Crash 4 on the Switch may not actually receive a physical release in Europe. It's only going to be digital for some reason. I don't know. It's very weird. It's only for Europe, it seems. And they Nintendo Life, who reported on the story, reached out to Activision, and they shared a statement on March 12th. And they're saying, they said, we are pleased to celebrate a digital-only launch of Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time in EMEA today. And that's about it. Nintendo Life says as you can see, the physical version of the game hasn't been ruled out for Europe, but the publisher's decision to avoid answering our questions about its whereabouts is a little worrying. So I guess it's not an impossibility, but it definitely seems like not a priority, which is a little weird, considering, from what I understand, Crash is really popular in Europe.
Yeah,
I was about to ask.
EMEA, which is a weird. I don't know if people commonly understand that acronym. That's Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And Activision isn't the only company that does that. I had to learn that abbreviation when I worked for Apple because they group that region together as well. And I remember just having to tap someone on the shoulder and be like, what the hell is EMEA? I don't know. Am I supposed to know what that means?
What are you talking about?
But yeah, it seems bizarre to me because Crash, like you said, is very popular, especially in Europe. So it kind of is bizarre that they'd go the digital-only route for this game. I mean, maybe there's just something at play that I don't understand. But, I mean, if we're getting it here in the States, Usually you see parity with those types of things. A physical release in the States will at least equate to one in Europe. It's very rare these days that a game that is physical in America is not physical in Europe. So I wonder what kind of business logic factored into that decision, because I can't think of a reason off the top of my head that it would make sense. But it does seem like Activision is intentionally sidestepping the question and which kind of speaks to probably that they don't intend to ever do it. Now, I do wonder, though. I wonder if maybe somehow some outfit like Limited Run or Special Reserve got an exclusive contract to produce a physical version that'll come out later. But just
that makes no sense to me, because this is Activision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as though this is a small-time, like indie game that needs the extra push. This is Crash Bandicoot 4. And especially if Crash is that popular in Europe, I don't understand why they do this. And I feel like this isn't something we hear about that often anymore
But you could argue that Scott Pilgrim didn't need it and Limited Run got that.
Well, that's just because of how popular Scott Pilgrim is.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Ubisoft could have published it their own. They don't need help. I mean, they could have put out physical cards without.
Well, they didn't need to go to Ubisoft for it. It's like they had to go to Universal for that part. That's a whole other thing in itself, though.
Well, and I get the sense that Ubisoft never really wanted to do to re-release Scott Pilgrim. I don't get the sense they really believed in it all that much. I mean, you can tell that the online it was patched and it was better now, but I get the sense that was kind of something they had to be goaded into doing.
Oh,
and yeah,
I'm sorry if I can interrupt real quick. I just want to mention because Trite Hexagon was trying to get noticed by us and he's leaving.
Oh, yeah. Well, have a good night, Trite Hexagon.
I recognize it's really late for you. Have a great night. We do see you, I promise.
Yes, we promise.
I made sure to say goodbye in the chat itself, so at least for that.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us as always.
I am seeing a lot of people mention that Crash 4 is rumored to have not sold great. And Europe isn't, as Doodle says, Europe isn't the Switch's strongest region, and the carts are expensive, so it might have just been a budgetary thing. It's like, well, didn't do great the first time, so we'll just stick with digital. I don't know. Yeah, I don't quite understand it myself. What are your feelings on this, Elliot?
Like, I could understand if they were to say like, oh, if it doesn't sell that well, like initially, and they do a port. All right, let's just make it digital and see how it goes from there. So if they do a physical release later, then I guess that can be the reason. Like, this isn't the first time I heard about this. Doom Eternal, when it got its Switch release, is digital only. But they did say that like a physical version isn't happening yet. Like that, they were really transparent with that. But with Activision, transparency is foreign to Activision. Let's be honest on that.
Yeah.
Eduardo Tena in the chat says Liam Robertson has been reporting on the supposed canned plans for Crash because 4 underperformed. So maybe there is, where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe Crash 4 has indeed underperformed.
I don't know.
I never thought I'd be able to relate Crash Bandicoot to something Mega Man related, but this does remind me of Mega Man often getting digital-only releases in Europe specifically, because Mega Man has historically been less popular, underperformed in Europe. So it's been the case that Mega Man fans in Europe have been underserved with physical copies as well. But if Crash is more popular in Europe than Mega Man ever was, we come back to the same question: why?
Like
that is.
I am willing to go with the budgetary reason, but I'm also willing to go with the let's see how this goes reason. For me, I think it's between those two.
I mean, it could also just come down to, and I don't know how these sales figures work out, especially because digital sales figures are really hard to come by, but it could have just been, maybe with COVID and everything going on, the market has been leaning much more heavily digital, and they're like, well, people will buy it anyway. So we're gonna release it this way.
Definitely because of quarantine, digital sales have been going up because people don't want to go out. So that's pretty up there, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a shame, but hey, if any of y'all friends in Europe need help importing a game, I can help you with that. I know a lot of ways to do that.
Thankfully, there's you can still import it and replay it just fine. So if you really want that box, there's options. There's options.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Right.
I don't know if it's in. I know Australia has a god awful huge rating symbol that takes up a huge amount of the box. I'm not sure what it's like in Europe, to be honest.
I think I've seen some European ones having some issues.
Like it's either like. You either get Peggy in the rectangle, or you get the triangle that's green or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
wasn't there one that was like it had the Switch symbol at the top, and then just a solid bar of this does not have the full game, and you have to download something, and it's just so ugly.
I don't like those.
No.
Tetris 99 did it, and it hurt.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on from Crash and jump into Smash. So let's bring in our next. I just kind of worked.
That was an expert level segue.
That was nice.
So Sakurai has, of course, his monthly Famitsu column, and of course for this one, we got a new character. Makes sense. He has a new article talking about it, and this one he sort of spoke about the thought process behind Pyra and Mythra in Smash, as far as the fact that Rex was not playable, because they did try to make Rex playable alongside her or aside them, when they first started doing it. It's just impossible. It couldn't do it, make it work. As he said, very much in the presentation itself, there's just too much detail there. He also looked into doing it as Rex or Pyra and Mythra in the background, like Pokemon Trainer feeding into Rex like in the games. But again, it's just like they felt like it lost something. It wasn't exactly clear which one it was. And then they came up with the idea of having Pyra and Mythra just on their own out front. It's like, you know what? It doesn't quite work in terms of the game, but it's more fun and unique. And that's one of their goals with the DLC is they want to try to make each. It's not just to fill a slot. He wants to bring a unique sense of fighter to each new character, which I appreciate. I think that's a cool idea. Like, even if you're not a fan of the character, there's something new going on here that you might click with.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, the more I play as them and kind of get used to the way they play, I think Sakurai and his team made the absolute right decision here. They are so fun to play, and I just think that they are so much more interesting than Rex on his own would have been, or even Rex and Pyra. I love the swap mechanic. They are so fun to use. And something that stood out to me in the interview, I've been kind of reading through it, is that Sakurai says, and I quote, "When we learned we would be developing a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that kind of goes back into supporting the idea that for this Fighter's Pass, Sakurai isn't just picking them. Nintendo is, and we know that, of course, but it's just interesting to see that language kind of specifically supporting that notion that it does seem as though Nintendo is the one kind of giving the directives and saying, okay, this is the character. We want a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character. You can decide who it is, but that's what we want to do. So I just noticed that language specifically kind of supporting the notion that Sakurai isn't just picking these on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he said as much, I think, when they announced Fighters Pass 2, right?
They
said
did.
This time
He
Nintendo's picked the characters. Because he wanted people to... the poor man wanted people to leave him alone on Twitter. He's like, please don't request
it's already been decided.
From me.
Don't bug me. It is what it is.
I feel so bad that he has to say that, like, in an actual official sanctioned video.
I know.
That should only have to be a tweet, for real. But
Dude, Sakurai needs like 5 vacations and like 3 cruises.
I know, right?
You're gonna torture a man by putting him on a cruise? That's cruel, Elliot. That's cruel. How are you feeling about Pyra and Mythra? Because I know you're not. I don't know if you've played 2. I know Sabrina has, but I don't think you have.
Yeah, Sabrina's the Xenoblade fan on this one. But when I heard that Pyra and Mythra went in, I'm like, all right, some for the Xenoblade fans, and we got new sword fighters. That's cool. And then the gameplay started coming up. I absolutely love them in the game. Like, like you get Mythra to deal some damage. Get the speed, get the percentage up, and then you get Pyra who could do just really heavy attacks. It's like there's good diversity, and there's a lot of strategy that you can do with both of them. So I'm not a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles myself because I'm not an RPG guy, but Pyra and Mythra, top notch. They were really good.
Yeah, they're really a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think Ash, going back to what you were saying, I don't think that there was a better way to implement Pyra and Mythra than what Sakurai pulled off here. I agree with you 100%. I think that he would have had to substantially build new tech into the game just to support them hanging out in the background, which would have been a waste. Because I think everybody can probably universally agree that Pyra and Mythra are infinitely more interesting than Rex as characters.
I mean, I like Rex, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
exactly.
saying Rex is a bad character, but I'm saying
Right.
comparatively he is very uninteresting. I don't think anybody was like, man, I want to play as the driver of the blades. And
Just give me the blade.
Yeah, exactly. And I think just the fact that they do have subtly different move sets and the way you can switch between them, and they have different movement properties, it is they're, like I said, and it remains true, they're my favorite character in Smash now, and by a wide margin too. They're just even if I am not super great at any at Smash at all, they are actually one of the most fun characters on the roster for me still.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
No, they're so fun. I did notice the end of this interview. Now, of course, this is all up to the translation, so keep that in mind. But I know I'm reading too much into this. I know I am. But it says exactly this. that leaves with only 2 more characters to go in Fighters Pass Volume 2. So you're saying there's a chance, is what I'm getting. Is that not 2 characters to go? 2 characters to go in Fighters Pass Volume 2. I am desperate. I fully admit it.
I'm like, I mean, if he would have just said, this is just the way it is.
I mean, I'm just saying, he specifically said in Fighters Pass Volume 2. I'm just saying, so you're saying there's a chance. I know that's not what that means, but I
think it's more
I'm
like,
grasping
let's
at
name drop
straws
this
here,
thing.
man. I know.
Jenny G in the chat says,
straws.
Ash, the dream is dead.
It's not fully dead yet. It's like 95% dead. It's not fully dead yet.
I'd request some quick context on this.
Yeah.
I just hope our last... Oh, so, yeah, I just keep hoping there's going to be a Fighters Pass Volume 3. I love Smash, and I want Sakurai to take a rest, and he can do that, but I just wish we could get a Fighters Pass Volume 3 and just keep going and going after he takes his vacation. I never want this hype train to end, ever, ever. I want to see the roster get to 100 slots. I don't want it to end. I can't help it. I just love Smash so much, but... I also know that it has to end at some point. I just hope our last character is an anime Sword fighter. I just thought of that.
Oh, God.
Look.
I'll be here all night, everybody.
Look, Pipe Dream, Doomslayer. No, I know it's probably not going to happen, but that's just my fantasy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd be down for Doomslayer. I think it's a little. I don't know if it's tougher or easier now that Bethesda's owned by Microsoft.
It might be a little easier, but yeah, no, it actually might be a little easier because you gotta go through one channel essentially.
Well, I mean, Microsoft and Nintendo are already in bed together, so it's certainly. I don't think it's going to stop it. If it wasn't going to happen, it already wasn't going to happen. I don't think Microsoft buying Bethesda is what would not make it happen. As
Classy Mudkip points out, Voltboy Mii costume is already in there, so
good point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Which I still love that Mii costume. I'm gonna be that person and say it.
It'd be cool if we get. It'd be cool if we could at least get a Doomslayer Mii costume. I think.
I'll be happy with a Mii costume. I'll be completely fine with that. If we can't get the full character, fine. Mii costume, better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a lot of people agree with that sentiment.
I have the Travis Touchdown Mii costume, and it's just a heartbreaking reminder for me.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit I would be pretty damn sad if we got a Sora Mii fighter costume. I think I'd rather just not have him at all. I want him as a full character or not at all. Having him as a Mii fighter costume would feel like a knife being twisted every time I saw it.
What if they put Sora in as a Mii fighter costume and then just added Goofy to make you feel really bad?
Oh,
I'd be down for Goofy in Smash.
I'd be down for Goofy in Smash. Yeah,
I'm actually.
Damn it! You're so optimistic.
The funny thing is, Donald and Goofy are canonically really powerful. Donald's one of only 3 Final Fantasy characters. The other 2, which are super bosses that can use Zeta Flare.
Right.
Which is, what is that, 1,000,000 times, 100,000 times stronger than normal Flare? It's ridiculous.
Actually super powerful. Yeah.
Better yet,
I just would love to see the expression on people's faces when Sora was in the trailer, but not the character that was being announced.
Oh, I know, right?
What
were we saying, Elliot?
You say we get Goofy in as a fighter, assist trophy. We get Donald, who does all the spells, and he just heals you multiple times when you hit, even when you're at 0.
I love it. I love it.
Mikey J is speaking my language. Chorus Kids from Rhythm Heaven, playable Smash Fighter. Please, you are speaking my language, man. I would be so hyped for that.
I'm still going to hold out hope as long as we have one open slot that somehow Travis Touchdown still gets in. It's not going to happen.
Oh, man. But now I'm going to be the one, Steve. The dream is dead. If he's a Mii fighter costume, man, the dream is dead. I'm sorry.
But they gave him Joy-Con on his hand. He is arguably the most Nintendo character in Nintendo history now.
But
Jenny G saying, headcanon, Duck Hunt is just Donald and Goofy in their disguises for this universe.
Oh, I love it.
I hate it.
So good.
I hate that so much.
If Disney ever, if Sora got in Smash and somehow Disney had allowed there to be actual Disney spirits, that would have to be their spirit battle, right? Like Donald and Goofy. It would have to be represented by Duck Hunt. It would have
of course.
And then we get King Mickey as Pikachu.
Oh, that's beautiful.
like it.
I love it.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
He even given the wizard hat as like Sorcerer Mickey or Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome. Speaking of, I just remembered, talking about King Mickey reminds me I have to finish. I started watching but didn't finish the latest death battle, which is Yoda versus King Mickey. And I have to
Wait,
see how
what?
that goes.
I did not
Yeah,
hear
the
about this.
latest death battle by Screw Attack is Yoda versus King Mickey.
King
and
Mickey
I didn't
has
get
to take that.
I hope he does.
I'm gonna have to give it to
on
King
Team
Mickey.
I'm on Team Mickey for sure, so we'll see what happens. Please, chat, don't spoil it. I haven't finished watching it, so don't. If you've watched it, please don't say who wins.
I don't watch death battles, but I think Yoda has this one. I'm being honest.
It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup for sure.
It's weird, but it actually fits.
It does.
In a weird way, it fits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the death battle at the end of the month. Godzilla versus Kong.
Humble JoJo, we have the Minecraft trailer up to the point that Mario enters the darkness. Ash celebrates Sora coming to Smash. Out of the darkness, we hear, "Go-huh?" Goofy puts his heart on the line. Can you imagine?
Pretty sure you gave a banjo a gaha for Goofy.
Oh, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, you're right. I can't really do Goofy. Yeah.
Gorsh is more like it.
Gorsh. Yeah, you're right. It was more banjo.
All right. Well, speaking of things Ash loves, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic.
Oh, yeah.
The Rockman Corner has released 5 obscure Mega Man manga that have been newly scanned and translated. These include the Rockman X Encyclopedia manga, the Rockman ZXA New Extra Chapter, the Rockman Saga of the Mu Continent, the Rockman Gigamix Sentai, and Rockman Saga of the Planet Voldos. Excuse me. Apparently, these are just some extra stories that just got discovered, translated, and there you go. They're out there now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and to be clear, just so we properly credit people, Protodude's Rockman Corner reported on this, but apparently Rockman Tanjo's Digi is the one who actually translated and released these.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with I'm not familiar with any of these except for the Rockman ZX Advent manga, because I was the one who localized or did the editing for Udon's Western release of that. But I guess there's an extra chapter that its author released like in 2019, I think.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen that new chapter, and looks like I have a lot of reading material. I am not familiar with any of these mangas, but I always love seeing new obscure, Mega Man mangas and material translated. So, yeah, this is cool.
It definitely is.
This story serves to remind me that I really want an update on those 2 Rockman manga.
Me too. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I really want the one where he's just a middle-aged adult. I really want to know what the angle is on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard about these. What?
We've talked about it
here
on TNT a couple times. Remind me, Ash. Remind everyone. What are the premise for those 2?
I'm trying to remember what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay,
was this the one episode I was not here for? Did you guys talked about this?
No,
I
you
do
were
not
here.
remember this.
Okay, so this was reported on back in December last year. And this is also on Protodude's Rockman Corner, but essentially there are 2 new Rockman manga announced to commemorate the series' 33rd anniversary. The first one is Rockman-chan, is a humorous parody manga starring an innocent blue bomber as he carries out the whims of Dr. Light. Dr. Light's missions for our hero, however, are anything but a cakewalk. But the one you're talking about, Steve, is Rockman-san. It follows the misadventures of a grown-up Mega Man as he deals with the tumultuous demands of an adult world.
Wait,
I want to read that
remember this
so much. That sounds so good.
That
really
really
want
does.
I imagine it, I know it won't be this way, but I just imagine Rockman being portrayed as, bad box art Mega Man, old, unshaven, beat down by the world, working a shitty 9 to 5.
That's kind of what I'm thinking we might actually see. Even if it doesn't look like bad box art Mega Man, it sounds like it's going to be Mega Man grown up and dealing with the shittiness of adulthood.
I know we've said this before, but how the heck does Mega Man grow up? He's a robot.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. Don't think about it too much.
Hold on. Technology advances every day.
There you go.
Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, Steve, there is a picture of both that I'm just going to post there on the news story here. I'm just going to post it in the chat so people can see. But there is a picture of
what the hell? Mega Man's
covers.
Hot.
Right? I know, so he's not going to be looking like Bad Box.
Where are you posting this at, Ash?
I posted it in the live chat, yeah.
Mega Man grows up to be a thirst trap is what happens.
Jeez, no kidding.
Oh,
right?
man.
I never thought I'd say this, but I would do Mega Man.
Dude.
Let it be known.
Let it be known
that
this dude.
He can Mega Blast me anytime.
I mean...
Mega Man's rocking some light. Oh, God. Dr. Light. It was a trap all along. It's just Light Yagami.
I'm actually glad I wasn't the only one that saw that. I was thinking, like, is that Light Yagami?
I'm kind of glad that you didn't say that you said Mega Blast and not Mega Bust, because the more accurate you get with that, the worse it gets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was Mega Bust. Damn it.
That's even worse, though. And I just want to let it be known that Steve was the one who said this, not me. He's the one who said I would do Mega Man.
Trust me, it will be forever memorialized on Twitter that I said this.
Right.
Why is Proto Man... What's with Proto Man's lips, I guess, is my big question.
Well, yeah, Proto Man's lips, and not just that, but what's going on with Rush and Rockman-san? Like, Rush looks like a real Shiba Inu.
Dog.
Yeah, he's just a Shiba Inu.
With a helmet and, like, an arm, and, like, the arm socket thing. What is going on there?
It is cute, though. I will admit that. It's an easy cosplay if you're going to be Mega Man and you want Rush with you.
That is true.
Oh, I just noticed Roll is also holding Tango, although for some reason Tango in this case is red as well and not green. But, whatever. I'm done with it.
Also, Rush is actually grown up, too.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I really want to read both of these, though. These both look so...
This looks ridiculous.
It's like, Doctor, how come these two could grow up but me? That
was like you a Bashojo. Or Bashoden.
You'll get a figure. Here you go.
Mikey J just said this podcast just went Peggy 21 plus when you made your comment about Mega Man, Steve.
Well, Can I say, sometimes
he's just being honest. He's being honest.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's like that sometimes.
True.
I mean, I feel like every time we pull up a piece of Japanese media, there's at least one really hot dude in it. It's really weird.
I mean,
that Pokemon Presents and now this. Mm-hmm. And then who was it that posted a picture of Junichi Masuda when he was working on the first Pokemon, and he was like ridiculously handsome. Somebody posted a picture of him recently.
Oh,
he had,
really?
Like, long flowing hair. He was like the hottest dude in the universe. He apparently just hires people based on looks. That's what I'm saying. He's like, you're a good looking man. Come make me a Pokemon.
Oh, too real. ETNO Ben says Mega Man files his taxes and waits for his bank to deposit his stimmy. Too real, man. Too real.
Yeah. He's waiting for that that stimulus check too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh, but yeah, there's some new manga, new material to read. That's pretty cool. I've honestly never read any of the Mega Man manga. I've only read the Archie Comics version. So, yeah. So that'd be kind of cool.
Like, I fell down the rabbit hole of seeing manga halls, manga shelves, and everything. And seeing this is not helping me because it's like, I want these, like, as actual, like, serialized releases now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
I would buy
these
these volumes just to have them. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It almost, in a weird way, makes me wish I was single. Because I would love for someone to come over to my house and just see, like, this picture of hot Rockman. What's that? Well, it's just what I'm into.
No
just
biggie.
what I'm into. Oh my god.
Just what I'm into.
His name is Rockman. Why is he called Rockman? Because you'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just read it. It's all in Japanese. How am I going to do that? Don't worry about it. Just look at the pictures.
Reminder that unless we're talking about Rockman-san, we are talking about a robot boy. So,
I believe everybody's been talking about Rockman-san.
Okay,
we are.
Fair enough.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Drew A asks, Ash, what is your favorite Mega manga? That would be the Mega Man, Mega Mix, and Giga Mix series by Hitoshi Ariga, which I also did the English versions for Udon. So definitely check those out if you like dramatic Mega Man stories. They're great. And on a slightly related note, I just hope we find out what's going on with Mega Man soon. Like, it's, Mega Man 11 came out in 2017, or 2018? think it was 2018. And I've been saying that I truly believed X9 was in development, and I still believe that. And I'm sure the pandemic has affected whatever they've got working or whatever they got brewing. But man, feels like it's been a little too long considering how successful Mega Man 11 was as a million seller. So I just hope we find out soon what's going on.
I feel it's gonna be a small while, honestly, because with Capcom, they're very hit or miss with it. It's like all right, we got Mega Man 11.
Now what?
Exactly.
Honestly, I didn't think we'd make it this far.
Exactly. It's like, oh wow, Mega Man 11 did good. Should we do X9? Well, we can wait.
It did over it and the collections. Like a lot of them did over 1 million. And X9, people have been clamoring for and begging for years now. So it just seems like this is the right time.
But the question still remains: what about Legends 3?
That too, I know.
Another thing I've learned to give up hope.
I think that dream really is dead, but I would be so happy.
That's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about actual possibilities, which, sure, let's use that as a segue. Bring that up. So, a newly discovered Breath of the Wild glitch turns out it allows you to play the game in first person. Apparently, it's really simple to do. I don't really mess with glitches too often, but Twitter user a.xk_ originally discovered the glitch, and it involves taking out the camera, holding an item in the menu, and canceling the item hold, and boom, it's done. So, really simple to do, and you can play the entire game, I guess, in first person after that. So
you're literally playing Skyrim at that point.
Yeah, I just watched the video. It is literally 2 seconds long and doesn't seem that hard to do.
It doesn't, at all.
It doesn't at all. It's so interesting.
It's like,
I mean, I don't think I'd actually want to play the game like this, but it's cool that this glitch exists.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can show this.
It is a cool glitch. I will admit that, but at that point, you just might as well play regular Skyrim, glitch full of glitches and all. At that point,
I mean, it'd be kind of wild, facing down a Lionel in first person and all that stuff. There's a lot of possibilities there. Plus, there was VR if you have Labo VR, that could be pretty cool. I don't know if that'd be even more vomit inducing with.
Oh man,
that
I don't know
thing.
if I could combine the two. It was so weird. I don't usually get sick with VR. I usually can handle it just fine. But something about playing Breath of the Wild, I suddenly understood what people who get sick in VR were talking about, because about 5 or 6 minutes in, I started getting very sick, and I had to stop. And it's just weird because no other VR game has hit me like that.
Well, so to be clear, Breath of the Wild, VR has to run at about 90 FPS to make most people feel good.
Interesting.
Not vomit-inducing. And no exaggeration, zero hyperbole, Breath of the Wild VR runs at about 15 FPS.
Right.
And so I'm with you. I have played a lot of VR, and 90 to 120 FPS is the sweet spot, they say, where people will not get sick. Yeah, man. Maybe 3 minutes in Breath of the Wild VR and I want to puke. I feel it is just awful. I don't get how people can play it.
I should also clarify with from Jacob Yu in the chat saying you can't really play the game like this as most actions aren't allowed, but you can at least walk around and check things out. So
yeah, I was going to say it looks like weapons aren't usable, which would be a big deal.
It's definitely a good starting point if. Is the best way I could say it. It's definitely a good starting point to kind of go into something close,
Oh yeah. The one thing that I think about when I look at this is landscape photography, just taking pictures. I mean, Breath of the Wild is stunning from an environmental perspective.
Yeah,
and you can get some real clean shots without Link in the way.
True.
Who needs a Link?
You could literally just screenshot it, put it into your SD card, put it onto your PC, boom, put your OC in there.
There you go. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh God.
Man. Someone's gonna do it. Someone probably
already has done it. Let's be honest.
I was gonna say I've seen mods where Woody from Toy Story is playable in Breath of the Wild, so I'm sure Shadow the Hedgehog has been in for a while.
I mean, if Kiddy Kong can be playable in Shadow the Hedgehog, then Shadow the Hedgehog can be playable in Breath of the Wild. I think that's how that works.
Twilord is still working on that mod and has sent me updates. I'm going to need to stream it at some point, but it is equal parts impressive and terrifying.
Sounds about right.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on and get something kind of cool, actually. This is a real resurrection here with our next topic. So, Devotion is now available on the developer's own website after being removed from Good Old Games and Steam, mainly because the whole thing where they compared it, I forget exactly the reference. Ellie, you're much more aware of Devotion than I am, but from my understanding, there's apparently a reference of our good old friend, the Chinese leader. Let's go with that. I forget the title. Exact title.
I forget too.
Being compared to Winnie the Pooh, and of course, he hates that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So essentially, what happened is that there's a part in the game where you see all these pictures on the wall. The picture of the Chinese leader wasn't meant to be in the final release. It was meant to be a placeholder for something else. The thing is, they forgot that, and then they caught wind. And then Steam and GOG got one of these, like, all right, we gotta take this down. We don't want that smoke. We ain't trying to catch any smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not played Devotion or Detention. I've wanted to play both of them when I heard about them, but then they weren't on Steam, and it made me the big sad. But Red Candle Games, like, having their own website and being able to fully release them, like, again without it being on Steam and GOG, I'm very happy with that.
Nice. Yeah, I actually, now that I see this, I'm reminded of when this news kind of broke a couple of months ago, when people were upset about how they handled Devotion in terms of delisting it and kowtowing to the Chinese Communist Party. And so I can see from a business sense why they felt like they had to do that, but I am glad that this game is getting a chance to be shown and played nonetheless, because I'm watching the trailer right now. And this looks really cool, I have to say. I know nothing about it, but it looks really cool.
It's definitely a game that, like, it's a really good creepy horror atmospheric game, definitely.
Yeah.
But like even like looking at it, there is on both of them, there's like really deep narratives with these games, and it makes me happy, honestly.
I'm getting definitely like Silent Hill occult horror vibes from this, and that's like my favorite kind of horror, so this seems like something I'd really enjoy, I have to say.
Yeah, so I could finally play these games, because like
nice.
all I've seen were videos. It made me sad that like they were just gone, but seeing this morning made me very happy.
Nice.
Yeah, and looking at it, it looks like you can get both games, Devotion and what was the original one? I forget. Detention for about $30.
Yep,
it's not bad.
So
not bad at all.
Pretty cool. It's nice to see them go around it. It's also, they said in their Twitter from Red Candle Games that their future products will all be on eShop. I think they mean their own eShop, not Nintendo's eShop, in a DRM-free format. So you get it, you pass it around, you're good to go. So
nice.
That's pretty cool. I think that's a good way to reward devotion.
Like it's a game. It's a horror game. I think a lot of fans of horror should play. I think it's like it needs a lot more love, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like
hopefully this helps.
I think it will, definitely.
Yeah, I think probably the inclusion of that picture of Xi Jinping was probably one of the best things that could have happened to the game, because I'd never heard of it before that.
Right.
And I guarantee, that plus its removal, a lot of people will buy it on principle just because they're able to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's nothing but good news in my opinion. I think it's silly to censor a game for the inclusion of a picture of a public figure. It's just stupid.
They're making fun of me. Get that out.
But, yeah,
well, when they did...
on one hand, I mean, I like to think I'm not thin-skinned, but if I did have that kind of power, would I be? if someone said, "Hey, Steve, you have the ability to remove anything you don't like from the internet," would I do it? I probably would do it. I'm going to be real. I'd probably be like, this episode of Naruto sucks. Delete it from everything.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I think it would just depend on like how it was handled, I guess, like, or the intent, maybe.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I think that, I think there's people should understand the line between satire and cruelty. And
Yeah.
not a lot of people get that.
Yeah. I mean, they do very odd things with the whole Winnie the Pooh thing, which, why wouldn't you want to be compared to Winnie the Pooh? He's adorable.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, and Steve, I mean, not that it would be just the internet specifically, but if I had the power, I would totally wipe, like, the third birthday from existence. So I totally understand. There are certain things I would wipe from existence had I the power to do so.
You are not alone on the third birthday. Like,
I know.
You're not alone.
I hate that game so much, man. And that's well documented. I've talked about that, but God, I hate that game.
Like Parasite Eve 1 and 2, good. We're good with that.
Yeah.
Third birthday, no. You can take that out.
I have never seen a series just completely sabotage itself so thoroughly and savagely as the third birthday did to Parasite Eve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh well. I'm still hoping for a Parasite Eve remake in the vein of Resident Evil 2. That'd be amazing.
Oh man.
The thing with that, you also gotta go to the author of the book as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to go through so many avenues with these kind of things. Like, I never knew Parasite Eve was based on a book until recently.
Yeah, I forget how long ago I realized that. It'd be interesting to read the original book. Actually, I don't know if it's ever been translated. Probably has, but
I don't think it has.
Weird.
I wonder if publishers now try to pursue just rights in perpetuity for licensed games now. Do they just say like, hey, for the purpose of this one game, we want to have the license forever so we can republish this one game? Mm-hmm. Is that a thing you can even do? Like, I feel like that would be the best possible option if you were negotiating.
I don't know. It'd be nice. That's for sure. But I don't know.
This is my long way of saying Capcom. If you're listening, please go talk to your friends at SNK and re-release Capcom vs. SNK 2, or better yet, make a new one.
Awesome.
There you go.
That would be really cool to have a modern port of that game, like with good rollback netcode, like proper online. That would be hype as hell, man.
Exactly. That's one of the best fighting games ever, and it's just rotting away on systems nobody plays anymore.
Yeah.
Or Capcom vs. Tatsunoko.
Oh,
right.
Oh yeah, I hear that one's really good as well.
Like that one definitely deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. That thing being trapped on the Wii is a travesty of justice.
It really is. And as I always say when we talk about Capcom fighting games, please port Rival Schools and Project Justice. Please, please, please. I love those games so much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Capcom is becoming very Sega-like with how they just ignore what their fans want in their back catalog of awesome stuff. They're like, whatever.
I would have went further and said Konami.
Well, I don't think Konami even remembers they have a back catalog at this point.
I mean,
like, what's a Castlevania?
I mean, they're completely downsizing their gaming section. So it's like,
yeah.
Darkumi 87. We have gone on record with how much we love Power Stone here at GVG many times.
So many good fighting games.
Such a damn great game.
We haven't even mentioned Dark Stalkers, which hasn't gotten love in how long?
Right.
It all after like that one Dark Stalkers game came out. I think on the PS3. That was it.
Yeah, and it was just a port. It was just.
Mm-hmm. I bought that because they were like, if you buy it, we'll probably make a new one.
You didn't buy it enough, Steve. You failed.
I should have bought more copies.
Wait, if this does well, we'll make another one. So that was a fucking lie.
That reminds me of when Square Enix told people to buy Chrono Trigger DS to support, the life and the future proliferation of the series, and nothing came of that.
I still bought it. I mean,
I haven't forgotten
it's
Square.
a lie.
To be fair, and we've also said this many times on TNT, I don't care if Square farts out another version of Chrono Trigger. I'm buying it. I don't care if it runs well or not. I don't care if it has loading before battles. I'll buy it.
Even if it's on mobile.
They like come even if it's on mobile, man. I'll buy it if it's on a calculator.
I
don't care.
On a TI-83, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be like Chrono Trigger, the text adventure. Like, fine, sure, whatever.
Oh man.
Do I have to get a Nokia 3300 to play this? Fine.
No, N-Gage. N-Gage.
Oh, there we go.
They're
Releasing an N-Gage version of Chrono Trigger in 2021. I'll still buy it. I don't care, Square. You know it, and I hate you for it.
Yep.
So I wonder how many people have that same sort of dedication for our next topic. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
I know one.
Balan Wonderworld. It's coming soon.
Man.
And it's not getting delayed despite its issues. However, they have announced that it will receive a day one patch addressing some of the demo concerns, at least as much as they can. And they said there's been a wide range of opinions and responses to the demo. That's one way to put it. And unfortunately, at the current stage of development, it simply isn't feasible to reflect every piece of feedback into the game. However, to offer you all a more balanced gameplay experience, we will be implementing a day one patch for the full game. Specifically, this patch will adjust movement controls, camera movement, and rebalancing the difficulty. There's just over a week left until launch now, so I hope you all enjoy the world of Wonderworld to your heart's content.
Yes, because nothing warms my heart more than a day one patch.
Right.
I love this. I was like, so review units are definitely not going out for this game.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I haven't heard
I
anything.
would be surprised if they did. Yeah.
I
am really curious to because I played the demo quite a bit. It was a weird thing where I initially started off just being like, what the hell is this? This is awful. And then as I played it more, I was like, this is not good by any stretch of the imagination. It's not good, but it's so Saturn-like, and it has such a specific vibe that I really like. And it's like a game where I truly feel like I don't know what I'm going to see around the corner in terms of just how fucking weird it gets.
Wait, you were essentially like, is the Balan Wonderworld demo good? No. It's way worse.
Right, but there's something fascinating about how weird and specifically Saturn-like this game is that I'm curious to see how this day one patch makes the game feel compared to the demo. I am curious, I'm not going to lie.
So you saying that, Ash, and having Elliot here makes me wonder, is it possible, however extremely unlikely, that Balan Wonderworld is such a train wreck confusion point of a game that it gets a deadly premonition like following around it? That's like, it's dumb, what? It's weird, but I kind of dig it.
That's kind of what I think there is a chance that could happen. I could see this game getting that kind of weird like cult following where everyone agrees that technically it's a mess, but that there's some je ne sais quoi quality to it that makes it just so singular and weird that if you can put up with the jank, that maybe it's worth checking out. I don't know. We'll see. It might just be crap, and the demo was more than enough to show me everything I needed to see of that game. But I don't hate it like a lot of other people do. I don't think it's good, but I'm intrigued by it.
Like, you bring up with the, because of how Saturn it is, maybe it can have some kind of following. The thing is that can only get it so far,
Right.
If the game isn't technically sound and it's just not it doesn't actually make up for saying we're gonna have this day one patch that's gonna fix everything, then at that point they're shooting themselves in the foot on this one.
Right. Now, I also, to be fair, I'm speaking from the perspective of having played the PS5 demo. I heard that it actually is a truly horrific technical experience on other platforms. PS5, It runs perfectly fine. So
I did not play it on PS5. I did play it on Switch and PS4. And Switch version is still worse. Did not buy this game on the Switch. It is
I heard
a
the Switch
bad
version
choice.
was terrible. I didn't play it, but I heard it was awful.
Sabrina was playing it on the Switch, and she was telling me how her experience was. And after she told me, it actually made her motion sick. I'm like, I don't even want to touch that.
Yeah, I've heard really similarly bad things. As Jared Edinger says, though, you're nailing it, Jared. It's Ash's the room factor, and indeed, never ever underestimate my capacity to appreciate a really
trash,
like a bad movie or a bad game if it has other redeeming qualities. If it's just bad, like Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, it sucks. I'm never going to watch that. But The Room has a lot of redeeming qualities because it's so bad that it comes all the way back around to being great. And that's where I could see Balan Wonderworld, landing. Maybe not. It might not. But I'm willing to give it the chance to land there at least.
Man, I have to go on record as just saying this game is going to blow hard. This game,
It probably is. I think you're probably right.
I played the demo on PS5 just like you, Ash, and I was like, what is this hot garbage? Like, this is such a, like, I have played Unreal Engine fan demos that are more satisfying to play than this. Like, I mean, the platforming is floaty and bad. There's one button that does everything. When you do find Balan, it's a weird, like, QTE sequence that involves him, I don't know, kicking an orb or something. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And you need to do it perfect if you want to get all the collectible stuff.
And I want to point out the incredible red flags in this statement. The day one patch will adjust movement controls. Like, you didn't nail that? Creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, you didn't nail that on the first pass. And it's so bad that you have to fix it the day the game comes out. You're like, oh, we still haven't figured out how to make them walk right. That's hardest part of making a game. Like, I don't understand the camera. Like, what else was there to the game?
Like, honestly, the best course of action for this, and I'm looking through like all of the replies on this tweet. The best thing they could do is just delay the game.
Yes,
it really is,
because
I agree.
It must have been out the doors already that they can't do it, or something. It is weird.
I hate the stigma of it's released. Oh, we'll fix it later, but that's not good because then you're leaving a really bad first impression.
Yeah.
It absolutely should be delayed.
I think about, like, when I see a game like this, I think about the comedy of errors that had to occur to get it to this point. Like, you know, we like to think about games as like, oh, just one person working real hard, but it's a team of people doing their best. And someone saw Balan Wonderworld at Square and was like, that's it. We got it.
Right.
I'm like,
that's the thing. Nibel, who reported on this, that's where I reported from, had a follow-up, a response tweet to this news story where he's like, you cannot convince me this isn't like a producer's like scheme.
Yeah,
to just ship out a terrible game and make more money.
Like, this is what it says. Balan Wonderworld's demo left such a negative impression on me that I pray that the game is some kind of high-level money laundering scheme.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing, and you know what? Good on them if they could pull off a producer's type thing. And God, it'd be funny if they actually ended up being like, you know what? New gold standard. This game's amazing, and it gets just as popular as that movie in the producers.
Remember the whole thing surrounding Cooking Mama on the Switch?
Oh yeah,
that's
true. Speaking of,
good.
Oh no, I was going to say. Speaking of, I've already seen Jared Edinger message as well. Seen a lot of people excited for what happened on this.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Matt McMuscle's DMs being like, yo, do I need to get you a copy of this so you can do the video? Because
how much money to get you to talk about this game?
Right.
Oh man.
And that's the thing is, like, I am intrigued just to see how much weirder and worse it could possibly get, but I'm not $60 intrigued. So whenever I do find out, you know, I do plan to check this out because I am, again, morbidly curious. I don't think it's going to be good. But there were I will say also, there was at least one thing I did like about that demo. There are 3 levels you play, and the second one had awesome music. I think this soundtrack's going to be great.
Oh, the music's going to be fun.
That's about the only thing. That's that's good.
I was going to say, that's it's going to be a while. By Dancing with a Farmer.
Exactly. Is it, though? Is that necessarily a bad thing? In what other game can you dance with a farmer, Steve?
I've seen shit on baby YouTube that is better than the cutscenes in Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, yeah. No. Right. We know it, and what's really sad about that is that you can tell that a lot of money went into them. Technically, they look really pretty.
Oh yeah, no,
but they're just so dumb.
I mean, again, though, I feel like someone at Square just had to be like, "Do whatever you'd like, Yuji Naka," and he's like, "Yeah, I have had these ideas that people have been telling me are bad for years. I'm going to use them all."
Yeah, so I will be checking this game out, but not at $60. It's going to be. I'm going to wait till it goes down. There's no way I would
like,
front them the full amount of money for this game. It's not going to be good.
I'll wait for it to go on sale for like $3. Then
exactly.
I'll be
there you go.
Yeah.
So you're not going to buy it at launch and review it for us, Ash? Thanks.
I mean, if they want to send us one, sure.
I am
$60?
I have asked once and got no response, and I feel like that was probably the right move on their part.
Yeah, I think so.
But I will ask again and be like, "Hey guys, I'm really excited for the launch of Balan Wonderworld in 6 days. Are you guys
Yeah,
okay?"
we gotta
6 days.
Gotta see this.
Yeah. No, it's almost certainly going to be terrible, but I am still morbidly curious, probably to my own detriment. But sometimes it works out. You get a room, or you get the room. Sometimes it doesn't, and you get a Legend of Chun-Li. So we'll see what happens.
There you go.
That's all we can do is just wait.
Pretty much. Although I'm sure Twitter will be ablaze with opinions as soon as this thing comes out.
I'm sure.
But
by people who are braver than I and are willing to spend $60 on it.
Poor
streamers.
souls.
Let's go from our one world to another and going into our next topic here. One that's a little bit more inviting, because Japan's Super Nintendo World, of course, has begun to open, and the people have already discovered a hint at the Donkey Kong expansion part of it, as there's a locked door that's very obviously Donkey Kong themed. And
Interesting.
The tweet about it also contains some model details about what the Donkey Kong section could look like and that kind of thing. But yeah, it looks like if this is successful, it could just go right into more to Donkey Kong and have more stuff there, because it's just a straight here's a door, doesn't go anywhere, but here's a door.
I actually kind of love this because it reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie stop and swap stuff, but in real life. That there's a door in a game that you just can't open, and you
I
don't
need
know
that DLC. Let me in.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It's like a real life version of, hey, you're in this theme park. Here's a door that just you can't open. There's no signage. You don't know what it is. Come back and maybe you'll see where it leads. It's kind of cool. I like that there's actually a door that's there, but there's no official signage or anything. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It's.
I love. Oh, go ahead, Elliot.
It's kind of like with Donkey Kong. It's very synonymous, with Mario. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to have a Donkey Kong style attraction?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a cart ride is made for theme parks.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just make that Space Mountain type thing with the carts and try to simulate them going over the jumps and whatnot. That'll be amazing. Also, obviously, with them calling this the Donkey Kong expansion, you know what people are saying with this one.
Oh God. Oh man. Of course they are.
There's funky.
However,
there's funky mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, we need Funky's flights in here.
Does this mean that we'll get to fulfill our long-held dreams of chilling at the theme park to David Wise tunes? Because I figure if they're going to be playing Donkey Kong music, they got to be playing, the best Donkey Kong music. Sticker Bush Symphony, Mining Melancholy, all those David Wise, beats. I hope so.
I'm going to laugh if you go in there and it's just a series of girders and ladders and you get to jump over plastic barrels.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Also, this is the easiest merry-go-round ever. Just put all the Donkey Kong animal buddies on the merry-go-round. Boom, you're done.
There you go.
Right.
I think what could be really. What were you gonna say? No, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I say, or if it's like Smash, where 90% of the music is just 50 different remixes of Jungle Hijinks, and you get 2 other songs.
That's why we need Dixie and Smash.
I think what could be really cool for how theme parks always have different merchandise and such. I think what could be really cool to make it part of the Donkey Kong attraction. You get the Mario minis from March of the Minis.
Ooh,
that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
I love that. I saw somebody have an idea. Oh yeah, I want Cranky Jenny G. I want Cranky Kong animatronic that mocks you. No, give it the Toad Cafe, and you just go into Cranky's hut, and it's just Cranky yelling at you those Finding Nemo interactions for kids in Disney's in Epcot, because those animations can interact with the kids. So you going in there, having Cranky mock you, question your skill, that'd be amazing.
Nice.
What's that you got there?
Cool.
Is that a burger with no cheese?
Disgusting. They could do like a Funky's Flights themed ride too. There's like a minecart ride, Funky's Flights themed ride. There's so many cool things they could do. I just hope that once they're done with Donkey Kong, I just want the Kirby attraction.
I know. I'd say Zelda would be next.
Zelda has to be next.
Zelda should be next, but I just really want a Kirby themed attraction. I can't help it. But you're right. Zelda should be first.
I've lost it by now, but somebody else had an idea where, those little wristwatches that you can do to hold up the things and have that do. They said it'd be kind of cool if you could do that with like bombs and have a bombable wall that kind of fell apart and I guess reconstruct.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably have like a.
Didn't they have
why not just real
simulation
bombs
of throwing a shell or something in the tour?
Maybe.
Or was it a bomb?
I think it was a bomb. I
I
forget.
gotta watch that Miyamoto tour again where he walks through the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, Adam Davis has a Kirby Gourmet Race restaurant where you have to run to grab your meal. I love it.
Oh no.
I love it.
Man, I want to go.
Same.
Yeah.
Me too.
I would love to go to this, but I'll wait.
Yeah.
Not like I have a choice. I'm talking about it like, I'll just do it whenever I feel like.
Yeah, like it's a choice, right?
It's easy. It's just hop down. It's just like going to the corner store.
The world, not
but hey, as we've been saying, that we could possibly pull off a YouTuber trip once we're all vaccinated and things are open back up. So you never know.
One would hope.
Granted, me and Sabrina are planning for a Japan trip for our honeymoon, so if it happens,
there you go.
If it happens, we gotta try to go to that.
I'll be in the suitcase.
Nice.
Derek just pops out. You guys had a lot of useless stuff like clothes in there, but I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. We're just buying new clothes in Japan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just open the suitcase. Hey guys.
He just hops right into his TNT intro.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump over to our last bit of news today. Something smaller, but still kind of cool. And Square Enix has announced that they're releasing the RPG shooter Outriders on Game Pass on day one. And kind of related to Game Pass news, Undertale is coming to the Xbox for the first time as well as part of Game Pass. So, yeah, it's kind of weird to think that Undertale never came to Xbox before this, but yeah, there you go. Undertale on Xbox and a third-party game coming to Game Pass day one, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Game Pass continuing to impress.
Game Pass is Game Pass is such a good service. Like
it really is.
Like like $10 a month or 15 with Game Pass Ultimate, you get Xbox Live with it. $15 a month, you get all these games to download. Like as long as they're on Game Pass, it's like it's like GameFly essentially.
Yeah. Basically, it's kind of amazing. I don't know how they pull it off, but it's nice. It's the one thing that makes me like consider an Xbox a Series X or whatever. It's like, I wonder.
I think the wildest thing about all this for me is that I just didn't realize that Undertale wasn't already on Xbox platforms.
Yeah,
I thought by this point it had been released everywhere, but I guess it was already on PC, and Xbox was the only. Yeah, I mean, obviously PC is where it began, but Xbox is the only place that it hadn't landed yet, and I truly had no idea about that.
I think because like I don't think it was intentional for it to be on Xbox like anytime soon. I think it was more so like, all right, let's see how it does on the PlayStation and the Switch, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And apparently there's additional content on the Xbox version as well. I don't know if it's anything major, but it's there.
Yeah, it said, similar to previous console releases, the Xbox version features its own little shrine, one might say, of exclusive content to look out for.
So it's probably like on the Switch version, essentially. But like instead of a Switch, you got it on Xbox.
Right.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
I've only ever played the neutral path of Undertale.
Same.
So I've never gone through the like true pacifist or anything like that. I assume it's that's probably where it involves. I'm thinking towards the ending was like, is that where it gets exclusive? Weird, because I know the PC version does some strange things, and it's like, I bet that's related.
Oh, Doodle says the Switch version had a new boss. I don't think I knew that.
Oh.
Yeah, it did,
Really?
actually.
Oh, cool. This just reminds me that I only played it on the neutral path too, and it's just one of those many things in my backlog that backlog that I have.
All right.
That I have I really have a huge desire to experience the true pacifist route for myself in that game. I know generally the broad strokes of it, but I really want to experience it for myself, and I've heard such amazing things. I just need the time.
I would say it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I on my stream one of my I can get to the point where people can request me to play any game, and if they get enough channel points, and Undertale True Path is on there, so eventually I will see the true pacifist run.
Nice.
But yeah, the funny thing is, to me, like, the most iconic song in the game, I believe, is only if you go through to the what is it, the bad run. Like, if you do all Genocide. Bad things. Genocide run, that's it.
Right.
So that's interesting to me. Like, that the most iconic song is only if you're a evil person.
Yeah, it's like the second most iconic song is the pacifist route. And the most iconic song, though, is the one that most people probably aren't going to hear in game, unless they really, do choose to go through all three ways. I couldn't bring myself to it. Like, I know how you do the genocide route, and I know what it involves. After playing through the normal route, I couldn't bring myself to do that. It's too sad. It's too messed up.
Well, I felt bad with the one thing I did fight normally in the game. Because I was trying to do, keep everybody alive, and because I was at least aware of that when I first played it. And then, well, maybe because I didn't fully understand mechanics, I was like, well, maybe I need to weaken them in that case. And then I got a crit, and they died. I'm like, crap.
Oh, yeah.
This sucks.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Jared Edinger makes a great point, too. It says, and Sans has a pretty small role in the game unless you do the genocide route, which is, Sans is like the face of Undertale, essentially, and he's such a massively important character in the Undertale fan base, but he's not actually he doesn't have that big a role in the game unless you play it through a certain way. So that's, just interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, cool for Xbox fans, and I don't know much about Outriders. Apparently it's a third-person shooter RPG.
It does not look
with co-op.
Yeah. All I know about Outriders is that Square Enix is absolutely desperate for people to play it because they have been pushing the game so hard. I don't remember
hearing about it.
Oh, I get emails about it all the time. And I
think I ignored it, thinking it's just some small thing.
Well, and I feel kind of bad because no matter how many of them I get, my interest in playing it or even looking at it does not ever rise even a little bit. I just don't care.
Yeah,
it looks bloody.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I saw a clip where somebody was trying to cross like a very small gap, and they walked up to it, and a cutscene played. And the cutscene was just your character running and doing a very small jump over the gap, and then it went back to gameplay. I was like, that's all I need to know.
Yep.
That is a game I will not be downloading.
I'm just looking at screenshots right now, and I just don't care. It just does not look like anything I would enjoy.
At least it's on Game Pass. You can check it out. I think
Yeah.
that's why Square Enix probably did it. It's like, you know what?
True.
At least you can check it out and see if it's actually for me or not. Probably won't be based on everything we've seen, but there you go.
Mm-hmm. Adam Davis with a bit of breaking news, not our kind of breaking news, but other breaking news. Production on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has started today, as in the movie. Very cool.
I just saw that on Twitter. Yeah, they just started, and I am happy.
Oh, me too. So excited. I know we all
That'll
are.
be fun.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to Odddoodle, 2 million people played the Outriders demo. I didn't even know it got a demo.
Wow. I didn't even know 2 million people cared.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Square Enix pushing it super hard worked, and I'm sure we'll hear about it in the Square Enix Presents on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which we will be reacting to for anyone watching, of course.
We definitely will be reacting to that. So, yeah.
There's a Square Enix thing happening?
The Square Enix Presents. Right now, it seems to be mostly Western stuff, but there might be other things going on there. But they have their own sort of direct going on Thursday.
Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha.
Right. The most exciting thing for me that they could announce in their in terms of their Western output that I don't think is happening is a third Deus Ex game with Adam Jensen, like the end of that trilogy. I love those games, but it's not going to happen. Apparently, Mankind Divided super underperformed.
Give me Dragon Quest 4 through 6 and all Final Fantasy 1 through 6 on Switch. I'll be very happy.
Right.
That's all I need. They're all old games. Just do it.
Just.
Oh boy. But with that, I believe we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. But before we sign off, Elliot, where can everyone find you at?
If you want to find me on the internet, you can find me on Creepy Elliot on YouTube and on Twitter. And if you want to see me live stream with Sabrina, we are on Twitch. We are called Bound by Games. That is bound_by_games.
Very cool. And
Awesome.
I believe you're also started getting into a bit of voice acting as well, correct?
Yes, actually. A few months ago, I signed my first NDA, and that's going off pretty
Nice.
well. So, yeah, I'm
Nice.
excited.
That's awesome. That is really cool to see you make that kind of progress. It's been great to have you on. It's been a lot of fun.
I had a really good time tonight.
He cared about it so much, he delayed his own stream. That's true dedication.
Like, listen,
Thank you.
That's real
there was
friendship.
opportunity for this. I am not missing that opportunity.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we also have to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, big and small. You're all wonderful, but a little special extra thank you to our everyone at the producer tier for helping to make this show happen. We really couldn't do it without you. And in addition, a massive, massive thank you to our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine folks include Jared Edinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Rman X, Dan Entwistle, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, Floating Mew, Echo Carroll, Christopher, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Nick Waterman, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedron Hotik, Macalau, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Shadow the Cat, Elysia, Azran127, Ken Roulette 09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Shiny Turkey, Joseph Retkin, Titus Malvolio, Charlie Bird, Lucky Wonderfish, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Charles Zaz, Douglas Chomix, Andrew Medeiros, RMM, Phantom 23, Scott Barber, Patrick Harrison, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Fizzy Wigoid, Loyal Dingo, Flaming Highwayman, Sean Garrett, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, West Egg, Master Lynx, Sean Davis, Deaneth, Jackson Jordan, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Ashish Joshi, Goran Amber, Straight Lace, Hoobie, Wolf X Blake and Moon Macarons, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Synchro Lord, Brainchild, Rosa Bowling,
Hi, Mom.
Dark Umi 87, who I saw was in the chat today. Welcome. The Flying Tacos, Scuff 196, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Chip Damage Mike, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, and our newest executive producer, Wheezy Penguin. Thank you all so much for supporting us. It is truly amazing. You guys are wonderful, each and every one of you. We really couldn't do it without you, and it really does mean the world. But remember that you too can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can watch today's news tonight for as little as $5 a month. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. So until next time, good night, good vibes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.